Some people who were once considered school failures, unserious people or Olodos, are suddenly becoming some of the most popular and financially successful people on the internet. And that raises a very uncomfortable question. Why does it sometimes look like the people who didn't do well in school are doing better financially than the people who did? Think about it. There is Peller, a young man whose unusual personality, confidence, and entertaining style turned him into one of Nigeria's most recognizable internet personalities. Then there's Portable, a man who has openly spoken about being regarded as the Olodo in his family. He said he struggled with school while trying to fend for himself. Yet today, he says he is the one supporting the same family. And then you have people like Carter Efe, who became widely known through internet comedy, entertainment, and viral content. And these are only a few examples. Suddenly, we have a generation of people making money from TikTok, YouTube, comedy, music, streaming, controversy, and personal branding, while some university graduates are still struggling to find stable employment. So what exactly is happening? Has education stopped mattering? Has intelligence stopped paying? Or are these so-called Olodos simply playing a completely different game? Because this is what makes the recent Olodo Uprising debate so fascinating. The phrase exploded after Nigerian rapper Ycee criticized what he saw as a growing culture where academic excellence and intellectual achievement received less attention, while viral personalities and entertaining content receive enormous attention. He specifically referred to this as Peller culture. But wait, before you conclude that Ycee is simply saying educated people are better than uneducated people, there is a much deeper question hiding underneath this controversy. What if the people we call Olodos have simply mastered something that many educated people never learned? What if they understand attention? What if they understand people? What if they understand entertainment, communication, branding, and money? And what if that is why they are winning? Because by the end of this video, you may discover that the real story isn't about Olodos versus educated people. It's about something much bigger, the changing rules of success. Now, here is where this conversation gets really interesting. Because if we are being honest, the success of people like Peller and Portable creates a serious contradiction. We were raised to believe that success follows a fairly simple formula. Go to school, study hard, get good grades, get a degree, get a good job, and you'll be successful. But look around you today. That formula doesn't always work the way people expected. And this is exactly why the Olodo Uprising debate has touched such a sensitive nerve in Nigeria. Ycee's original argument was that society appears to be celebrating internet virality and sensational content while giving less attention to academic excellence. But there's another side to the story. What if these creators aren't succeeding because they are uneducated? What if they are succeeding because they have developed a different kind of intelligence? Think about it. A student can score 90% in an examination, but can that student make 10,000 people stop scrolling? Can they make those people laugh? Can they make them curious? Can they build a loyal audience? Can they sell something to that audience? Can they turn their personality into a brand? Can they negotiate a business deal? Can they make people remember their name? Because these are skills too. And the marketplace doesn't pay you simply because you are intelligent. It pays for value, and increasingly, it pays for people who know how to capture attention and distribute that value. That is why the person who knows the most isn't always the person earning the most. The person with the highest degree isn't automatically the best entrepreneur. And the person who struggled academically isn't automatically incapable of creating wealth. Portable's own story makes this distinction particularly striking. He has said that he struggled to complete his education because he had to fend for himself, including selling sachet water, and that he was regarded as the Olodo in his family. Yet he now describes himself as supporting that same family. So maybe the real question isn't, why are Olodos winning? Maybe we should ask, what are they doing right? Because if you understand that, you may discover that the person everyone laughed at in the classroom may have developed a skill the classroom never taught. And that skill is the ability to get people's attention. Now, let me show you where the real game is happening. Your certificate cannot make the algorithm recommend your video. Your degree cannot make people stop scrolling. And your academic excellence doesn't automatically make people interested in what you're saying. The algorithm doesn't sit down and ask, did this person graduate with first class? It asks something much simpler. Are people watching? Are they staying? Are they sharing? Are they coming back? And that changes everything. Because the internet has created an economy where attention itself has value. Think about what happens when someone like Peller goes live. Thousands, or potentially far more, people can gather around one screen. They watch, they comment, they argue, they laugh, they share clips. Other people react to the clips. And suddenly, one person's personality becomes a media machine. Now compare that with someone who has spent years becoming an expert in a complicated subject. Maybe they understand economics, maybe medicine, maybe engineering, maybe finance. But if they can't communicate that knowledge in a way people understand, they can remain invisible. And this is one of the biggest mistakes educated people make. They think, if I know something valuable, people will automatically find me. No, the internet doesn't work like that. You can have knowledge, but somebody else may have distribution. You can have expertise, but somebody else may have attention. You can have a degree, but somebody else may have an audience. And when the audience becomes large enough, it can be turned into money. Advertising, brand partnerships, products, services, music promotion, events, subscriptions, business opportunities. That is why this isn't simply an Olodo story. It's an attention story. Ycee's criticism was precisely that Nigeria increasingly celebrates virality and internet fame over intellectual achievement. But here's the part one wants you to think about. What if the problem isn't that these creators know too little? What if the problem is that many educated people know a lot, but haven't learned how to communicate, distribute, and monetize what they know? Because in today's world, knowing something is powerful. But knowing how to make people care about what you know is another level entirely. And that is where the so-called Olodo may have something to teach the so-called intellectual. They understand attention. So, are the Olodos really winning? After everything we've discussed, I think we need to change the question, because maybe the biggest mistake we can make is looking at someone like Peller, Portable, or any other controversial creator and saying, this person didn't take education seriously, yet look at how much money they are making. That conclusion is too simple. The real lesson is this: never confuse academic intelligence with total intelligence. Someone can be poor at school and excellent at business. Someone can struggle with formal education and still understand people. Someone can speak imperfect English and still know exactly how to capture an audience. And someone can have multiple degrees and still have no idea how to sell themselves. The marketplace doesn't reward certificates alone. It rewards value. And increasingly, it rewards the ability to communicate that value, attract attention, and distribute it. But here's where I disagree with the idea that we should celebrate ignorance. Because there is a massive difference between not having formal education and rejecting knowledge. Those are not the same thing. You don't need a university degree to become successful, but you absolutely need the willingness to learn. You don't have to know everything, but you must be curious enough to say, I don't know, let me find out. And that, in my opinion, is where the real danger of the Olodo Uprising begins. If young people start believing that being ignorant is actually a status symbol, if they begin mocking people for reading, if they stop questioning information, if they start believing that viral popularity automatically means wisdom, then we have a serious problem, because attention can make you famous. But knowledge determines what you do with that attention. And this is why I don't want you to choose between the classroom and the internet. Learn, read, think, develop a skill, learn communication, learn sales, understand money, build an audience, learn technology, and then learn how to turn all of those things into value. Because imagine what happens when someone combines the intellectual discipline of a scholar, the communication ability of a creator, the adaptability of an entrepreneur, and the financial intelligence of a business person. Now you don't have an Olodo, and you don't have just a certificate holder either. You have leverage. So perhaps the Olodo Uprising isn't telling us that education is dead. Perhaps it is warning us that education alone is no longer enough. The world is changing. The economy is changing. The way people discover information is changing. And the way people make money is changing. The question is, are you changing with it? Because at Healthy Billionaire Academy, we don't want you to become famous for knowing nothing. And we don't want you to become educated but financially helpless. We want you to become someone who can think, learn, communicate, create value, and build wealth. So don't copy ignorance. Copy adaptability. Don't copy foolishness. Copy execution. Don't abandon education. Upgrade it with financial intelligence. Because the future may not belong to the person with the highest certificate. And it certainly shouldn't belong to the person with the least knowledge. It will belong to the person who can learn, adapt, and create value in a changing world.